I'm having dinner with Julian tonight. Don't wait up, Julian. I watched the spark in her eyes when she said his name and suddenly found the whole thing laughable. Ever since I married into the Vance family, fetching her coffee has been my morning ritual for 3 straight years. I know every detail of her order, an extra pump of caramel, light on the ice, and, most important, it has to reach her hand the second it's ready, while it's still hot enough to singe the tongue. Yet she's never once looked at me as if I mattered. Let's get a divorce. Her fingers froze mid-motion. She clearly hadn't expected me to be that blunt. I smiled. Didn't you keep saying you wanted to ditch your loser husband? Consider your wish granted, Adrian. She scowled. Stop being so sarcastic. And anyway, back then, it was a business marriage. I know. I cut her off. But Julian's back now. Your white moonlight first love. So the curtain can drop on this little farce. Her face paled. I stepped out of the office, slid the platinum band from my ring finger, and pitched it into the trash can 20 floors below. 3 years. Time to end the clown show. Adrian, don't tell me you forgot the gala tonight, again? I was in the study plowing through contracts when Serena barged in, lips pursed in annoyance. Even though it was late autumn, she wore nothing but a silk slip dress, clearly dressed for some red carpet photo wall. Didn't forget. I'll change in a minute. I capped my pen. Can't you ever prep ahead? You always embarrass me. She glared. I swear Dad must have lost his mind. Letting you marry into our family. I gave a soft laugh and walked into the dressing room. When I first moved in, Caldwell's tailors had built me a wall of bespoke suits, but most of those pricey fabrics had been pronounced hopelessly provincial by her and left to gather dust. Oh, and her voice drifted in, once we're there. Keep your mouth shut. Don't humiliate me. Sure. I stepped out in my tux to find her touching up her lipstick in the mirror. That tie is hideous. She frowned. Whatever. No time. Let's go. The whole ride her phone kept lighting up. I caught the contact name of Julian more than once. Word is Julian's flying back? I asked casually. Her thumbs paused. How did you hear? Office gossip. She answered flatly, but the glitter in her eyes betrayed her. I kept driving while the scene from 3 years ago replayed in my head. Caldwell had been hemorrhaging cash. I injected $500 million in exchange for a marriage certificate. The Vances hated the idea, but in business you take what keeps you alive. None of them guessed their despised seat-filler son-in-law would rate lower in Serena's heart than her high school sweetheart Julian. Wait, she said suddenly. Stop at Starbucks first. I need coffee. There's one right up ahead. Not that one. I want the one across from the Opera House. I glanced at the GPS and exhaled. That's a 20-minute detour. What? Too cheap to burn a little gas? Her voice iced over. Figures. You new money boys pinch pennies and call it lifestyle. $500 million doesn't give you license to act all high and mighty in our house. My knuckles whitened on the wheel, but I flicked the indicator and looped back. She swung the caramel macchiato triumphantly and spilled it down my shirt at the next turn. Drive smoother. Will you? She snapped. I blotted the stain with a handkerchief. Almost there. I'll hit the restroom and fix it. Pathetic. She climbed out without a backward glance, heels clicking toward the hotel entrance. Park and catch up. Watching her disappear under the marquee, I shook my head, restarted the engine, and eased away. No rush. Plenty of time. I glanced at the live market feed on my phone and felt a cold smile tug at my lips. Serena still thinks I'm a useless boy toy, yet I've already scooped up 15% of Caldwell, quietly, and Julian's triumphant homecoming couldn't be more perfect. After all, to play the ideal discarded husband, you need a convincing exit cue, don't you? President Vance. The Riverside investors want to pull out. Losses projected north of $1 billion. I was outside the chairman's office when I heard Charles's weary reply, keep it under wraps for now. I'll find a fix. Back in my own office, I pulled the Riverside file. Caldwell's crown jewel project. If it cratered, the firm's reputation would crater with it. Sir, Madam asked you to come home for dinner, my assistant reminded me. I checked the time, it's 9 p.m. Go on, I'll finish up. At 2 in the morning I traced the real play, though withdrawal was theater. The investors wanted the land, with city prices skyrocketing. That parcel had tripled in value. Next day's board meeting. Gentlemen, exiting now minimizes risk, the investor's spokesman declared, full of confidence. Hold on, I said, rising. Davis, have you factored in land appreciation? The room went still. Adrian, this really isn't your department, Wang replied, oily smile intact. I clicked the projector. Latest figures show surrounding plots up 320%. And, Adrian, Serena cut in. What do you even know? Stop wasting our time. Serena, Charles warned. Dad, he's an outsider. Letting him sit in on a confidential session is already charity. I kept smiling. Numbers speak louder, right? 60 minutes later the investors conceded defeat and signed a new term sheet, another $2 billion committed. Brilliant boy. Charles clapped my back. How do you spot that? that. Dumb luck. Dad, Serena hissed. He's just sucking up to you. Serena. Adrian saved our hides. Humph. He only wants a bigger office. She stalked off. Don't wait dinner for me. Back home I laid out her usual late-night snack. No matter what she claimed, she always got hungry after those boardroom battles. On the dining table sat my birthday gift to her, the latest LV. Half a year's salary. Madam said these things are for the staff now. Clark looked apologetic. Sir, try not to mind. I only chuckled. Enjoy it, guys. My phone buzzed. Stop grandstanding in the boardroom. Before I could answer, a second text arrived. And that knockoff purse you gave me. Trash. Only the maids would fall for it. I stared at the $200,000 knockoff, and actually laughed. In her eyes, I remain the penniless live-in clown. She has no clue that the Riverside I just rescued is 30% mine. Saving Charles was merely convenient. I set the phone down and opened my laptop. A headline pulsed on the screen. Julian appointed Asia Pacific CEO of Thomson, arrives next month. Interesting. I sipped cold coffee, a thin smile forming. The show's about to get lively. Serena looks extra happy lately. Her mother chirped at breakfast, beaming at her daughter. Adrian must be treating you wonderfully. I placed a rib in Serena's bowl while she glowed, for reasons that had nothing to do with me. Mom, haven't you heard? Julian's back. Her eyes shone. He's Thomson's new Asia Pacific CEO. Julian, her mother faltered, throwing me a glance. That boy's returned? And he's taking me to dinner. I set my chopsticks down. Excuse me, work to finish. Adrian, dear, let him go. All he ever does is work anyway, Serena said, tone dripping disdain. In the study, I opened a confidential dossier. Thomson's glitter hides a balance sheet bleeding red. Julian's throne rests on quicksand. My phone chimed with a security cam clip from the underground garage. Serena sliding into a scarlet Ferrari. Its owner a slickly suited man. Looks like the reunion dinners have been plentiful. Sir, Madam says she won't be home for dinner. Clark's voice drifted through the door. Understood. 8th time this month. Once upon a time, no matter how much she scorned me, she at least texted. Now even that courtesy is gone. I unlocked the safe and withdrew the acquisition roadmap. In 2 short months I've accumulated 35% of Caldwell, quietly, relentlessly. Ping. A new Instagram post. Serena leaning on Julian's shoulder. Radiant caption. Long overdue reunion at Julian. A smile she's never once aimed at me. Comments keep tagging me, but she's already blocked my account. Mrs. asked me to send these to the cleaners, Clark said, stepping in with an armful of suits. She said, the tacky things are an eyesore. I recognized them. She picked everyone for our wedding. Trash them. I kept working. Young master. Oh, and I looked up. Get me Whitman. The Riverside Project? No. I curved a smile. I'm buying the whole Whitman conglomerate. Clark froze. That's tens of billions. Then move fast. I signed the last page, before certain people notice. At 11 p.m. Serena came home, reeking of champagne but grinning. Have fun tonight? I offered her the sober-up broth. None of your business. She shoved my hand away. Still. Thanks. For what? If you weren't such a waste of space, I'd never have met Julian again. She swayed up the stairs. He's 10 times the man you are. I watched the broth soak into the carpet, and laughed. Yeah. Thank me. If this waste hadn't existed, how could the two of you have reunited? Soon, though, you'll see who the real waste is. Adrian, the intel you wanted. My assistant laid down a stack of photos. Serena and Julian at members-only clubs, Michelin restaurants, yacht parties. 3 months of surveillance enough to make any husband explode. I only glanced. Leak them. Not. Wait a little longer. No, I said, still typing. The timing's perfect. Next morning business blew up its front page. Caldwell heiress secretly dating investment tycoon CEO, suspected infidelity. The shots were artfully edited. Julian's hand on Serena's waist screamed intimacy. Bastard. Charles slapped his desk. Julian sniffing around my daughter. Dad, listen. Serena panicked. Julian and I are just friends. Friends? I walked in with a folder. Interesting flavor of friendship. Serena paled. What do you mean? Nothing much. I handed Charles the file. Only that Roberts's choice of a friend it is. Curious. Charles flipped through. Color draining. Thomson actually. Exactly. I cut in. Julian flew back to find a patsy. Caldwell is his mark. Impossible. Serena shrieked. Julian's not like that. I sneered. No. Did you know he just scooped up 2% of Caldwell yesterday? Silence swallowed the office. Adrian, Charles said slowly, you knew all along? I nodded. So I made a few arrangements. I opened my laptop. A share transfer agreement filled the screen. This, Charles's eyes bulged. When did you amass so many shares? Just 45%, I said lightly, enough to block Julian's takeover. Serena collapsed onto the sofa. The disposable son-in-law she despised secretly held half the company. Dad, don't dad me, Charles roared. You nearly torpedoed Caldwell. I spoke up. Father-in-law, better hush this up for now. Adrian, Charles looked grateful. Thank heavens for you. But, I paused. I have one request. Name it. I want a divorce from Serena. The room went ice cold. Serena's head snapped up, eyes flickering. Why? She stammered. Because I met her stare. I'm sick of it. Just like you were sick of me. I'm sick of this farce. I'll keep my shares, but I'm done being your family's clown. I headed out. My lawyer will deliver the divorce papers shortly. Have you lost it? Charles bellowed. Julian's a con man. He is not. Serena screamed. He promised to marry me once I'm free. Smack. Her mother's slap cut her off. Still shameless. I set down my teacup and left. No need to watch the rest of this soap. Adrian, Serena yelled. You wanted a divorce. Let's go sign now. I turned, studying the woman who'd shared my life, suddenly a stranger. Sure, I smiled. My attorney's waiting downstairs. Everyone froze. You planned everything? Her eyes were saucers. What did you expect? I flicked my phone. Care to see what Julian's up to? On screen, Julian was checking into a hotel, arm around another woman, 10 minutes ago. That's fake. Nothing's fake, I said, watching her face drain. After all, he's your true love. Her mother grabbed me. Adrian, don't go. Serena was just bewitched. Give her one more chance. Enough, Mom. I gently pulled free. Some mistakes stop being mistakes when you repeat them. What about your shares? Charles hesitated. I'll hold them, but I won't meddle. I smiled. Relax. I have zero interest in running Caldwell. Adrian, his mother sobbed. We failed to raise Serena right. No, it's on me. I patted her shoulder. Take care of yourself. Outside, the lawyer had every document ready. Adrian, there's still handover work. Give it all to my assistant. I cut in. From tomorrow, I won't set foot in Caldwell again. Ann Thompson. Wait for my cue. I checked my watch. Julian will soon realize he's the punchline. Back in my room packing, I found Serena at the door. Adrian, her voice trembled. You engineered this from day one, didn't you? I kept folding shirts. What do you think? So you pretended to be useless? Just to laugh at me? I finally looked up. Remember how long we've been married? She went blank. 3 years and 2 months, I said. Those years I wasn't acting. I honestly tried to make it work. But tears rolled. But you only ever saw Julian. I shut the suitcase. So it ends here. I'm sorry. She hugged me. I was wrong. Can we start over? I eased her away. Some apologies can't fix the damage. At the door I paused. Oh, take your bags with you. Trash they may be. They're still worth millions. Seeing her stunned, I chuckled. Some people only learn value after losing it. Pity, my heart is already ashes. Your coffee, Adrian. I took the cup and met a fresh face. Luna, the new legal director. Rumor said top of her class at Hudson. Thanks, but no need for the special trip. No trouble. She smiled. I pass by anyway. Anne, I like your taste. I glanced at the cup. Logo of the tiny cafe I frequent. You're the first boss I've seen who orders plain Americano. No sugar, she added. Bitter, but pure. Interesting description. Across my desk finance screamed the headline Adrian's group swallows Whitman, market value up tenfold in 3 months. Mystery tycoon Adrian builds capital empire overnight. 3 months can change a lot. Adrian. Word from Caldwell. My assistant handed over a sheet. Julian is aggressively scooping their stock. I flipped it, smirking. Right then Luna rushed in. Adrian. Situation, what's the fire? Caldwell people downstairs. They insist on seeing you. I walked to the window. Serena in a slip dress, once radiant, now haggard, waited at the entrance. No meeting, but Luna hesitated. She looks desperate. Know who she is? I asked casually. Your ex-wife, she answered. Frankly, she doesn't deserve you. I looked her over. She didn't flinch. You sound sure. Gut feeling. She winked. My legal gut is never wrong. Down below, Serena kept waiting, eyes red, makeup smudged. Adrian. Caldwell's share price is tanking, Luna added. Word is Julian's shorting them hard. So, you'll really stay on the sidelines? I stared at the figure on the security feed and remembered every day she'd looked right through me. Not every story deserves a sequel, I said, shutting the monitor off. Some people should stay strangers. Understood. She turned to leave, then paused. By the way, are you free tonight? I found an amazing little cafe, she said, smiling. Thought you might like it. Watching her walk away, I suddenly noticed my Americano didn't taste so bitter anymore. Meanwhile, at Caldwell, Julian, you promised. Serena stared at the screen as the stock price plummeted. You said you'd help me. Julian sneered. Naive. You thought I actually loved you? You were just a pawn in my takeover of Caldwell, he said, adjusting his cufflinks. And now, the pawn gets tossed. Serena collapsed on the floor, finally realizing how catastrophically wrong she'd been. The husband she'd dismissed as disposable had already climbed to a height she could no longer reach. The true love she'd boasted about had been nothing more than an elaborately staged con. That evening, Luna and I sat in the cafe she'd mentioned. Actually, she said, swirling her coffee, I've always wondered, why did you choose to let go? I gazed out at the night. Because some people were never meant to be part of your scenery. Why force them to stay? Any regrets? None, I said, smiling. I just switched vantage points to take in a new view. She looked up, eyes glinting with mischief. So, do I have a shot? Adrian, the documents have been handed to the press. I set down the cup, an Americano Luna had brewed herself. Lately, she's been obsessed with coffee. Even earned a barista certificate. What's Julian's reaction? He's panicking, she said, grinning. Want to watch the feed? He's downstairs making frantic calls right now. I pulled up the monitor. Julian pacing like a cornered clown. Headlines were already blazing across every major outlet. Thompson bombshell, Julian faked or some embezzled hundreds of millions, financial wunderkind or fraud. Julian's real face exposed, Caldwell heiress falls for scam. Julian spotted with new flame. You knew all along, didn't you? Luna asked suddenly. Then why wait to expose him? I met her curious gaze and smiled. Some people need to feel the burn themselves. Adrian, my assistant, burst in. Caldwell people are here, and it's Chairman Charles himself. I walked to the window, my father-in-law downstairs. Erect, Serena at his side. Show them up. Luna hesitated. Should I step out? No need, I said, pulling out a chair. Let them see the woman who actually fits me. Minutes later, Charles and Serena entered. When Serena saw Luna pouring me coffee with easy intimacy, her face went paper white. Adrian, Charles began, voice trembling. Sit, I said. What's on your mind? Julian, want to discuss him? I cut in, sliding a folder across the desk. Perfect timing, have a look. Inside, every charge, embezzlement, forged credentials, investor fraud. You had this all along? Serena whispered. Naturally, I chuckled. Why do you think I let you two be together in the first place? The office sank into stunned silence. You planned this? She asked, shaking. Exactly, I said, holding her gaze. Enjoy the true love you wanted. Charles suddenly dropped to his knees. We were blind. Please, save Caldwell. Dad. Serena knelt too, tears streaming. Adrian, I was wrong. Come back, please. Luna frowned and started to intervene. I stopped her. I will save Caldwell, I said quietly, but not for either of you. I'll keep my shares, I continued, taking Luna's hand, but my life has a new compass now. Serena stared at our clasped fingers and broke into wrenching sobs. The nobody she'd sneered at was now soaring, and had found a better partner. She, meanwhile, had lost the one heart that had truly loved her. Let's go, I said, standing. Luna, see them out? Yes, Adrian, she answered, stressing the title with a playful wink. I watched them leave, shaking my head. Some people only value what they had after it's gone, but I've already found a better view. Serena, I'm sorry, Adrian is in a meeting. Serena stood at the Chi Group reception desk while the staff, once obsequious, wouldn't even offer her a seat. I'll wait, she said, clinging to the last shred of dignity. It could be hours, the receptionist chirped. Adrian left with Luna for negotiations. They may not return until evening. Luna again. Serena's nails dug into her palm. She used to feel embarrassed being seen with Adrian. Now Luna stars in every scene. Serena. Julian appeared behind her. Still fantasizing? Get lost, she recoiled. This is your fault. My fault, he sneered. If you hadn't looked down on Adrian, I'd never have had a chance. Now Caldwell is circling the drain. Daddy's heart is acting up. Adrian won't pick up your calls. What's your next move? Serena's whole body shook. What do you want? Simple, he murmured, lips to her ear. Convince Dad to transfer the remaining shares to me and I'll spare Caldwell. In your dreams. Then enjoy bankruptcy. Oh, and I already own 30%. She crumpled onto the lobby sofa. Through blurred eyes she saw Adrian and Luna stroll in, laughing. Luna in a plain white shirt looked effortlessly radiant. She rose on tiptoe to straighten Adrian's tie, an intimacy that stabbed Serena. Adrian, she rushed over. He frowned. Luna said amiably, should I give you two a minute? No need, he answered, clasping Luna's hand. Nothing to discuss. Please, help Caldwell. Serena sobbed. Daddy, I'll handle your father, Adrian cut in, but not for you. The elevator doors closed on them, leaving her alone, tears splattering the marble. Back home Serena surveyed mountains of designer bags and felt the cruel joke. Those coffees she'd sneered at. He'd queued since 4 a.m. to buy them. The gifts she'd tossed to Clark. He'd saved for months. The events she'd deemed beneath her. He'd attended solely to support her. Now the simplest happiness belonged to someone else. Her phone chimed. Chi Group's official Twitter post, Adrian, Luna, low-key love confirmed. The two will wed next month. Photo, Luna brewing coffee. Adrian gazing at her with utter adoration. The same gaze that once belonged to Serena. She finally broke. Tears flooding the screen. The most precious things are always appreciated too late. Adrian. Another bouquet downstairs. Sender insists on hand delivery. I eyed the 18th arrangement of roses on my desk and shook my head. Bin it. Hold up. Luna intercepted the assistant. Plucked the card. Forever yours. Serena. She burst into giggles. What number is this today? Lost count. I kept typing. Poor woman. She teased. How does it feel to be relentlessly pursued by your ex? Less intense than being mocked by my future wife. She perched on the arm of my chair. Want me to talk to her? Waste of breath, I said, ruffling her hair. Right then Serena barged in, seeing us so close. She went sheet white. This is an office, I snapped. Show some respect. I came to apologize, she stammered. Adrian, I know I was wrong. Give me one more chance, please. Luna started to leave. I held her back. Say what you need to say, in front of us both. You've changed, Serena cried. You were never this cold. You're right. I have, I replied, because someone finally taught me what genuine care looks like. Luna squeezed my hand, eyes soft with sympathy. What about me? Serena shrieked. I'm sincerely sorry. Why won't you forgive me? Because, Luna spoke up, some wounds outlive apologies. Shut up. Serena lunged at Luna. You stole him. I blocked her. Enough. Security. No. She clutched my arm. Adrian, don't you remember our 3 years? You promised to always be good to me. And you? I sneered. Remember how you used to look down on me? She froze. Serena, Luna said gently, treasure isn't something you remember only after you've lost it. When security came to escort Serena out, her phone rang. What? Dad's in the hospital? It turned out Julian, wielding his status as a major shareholder, had forced a boardroom reshuffle, giving her father a heart attack. Please, save Caldwell. She dropped to her knees. I glanced at Luna. She caught my meaning. I'll go to the hospital. You say I've changed. I told Serena, but have you ever wondered why? Because now I've finally met someone worth giving everything to. She cried even harder. I'm sorry. I really am. Get up. Luna helped her to her feet. Adrian and I will help, but not for you. Watching Luna lead Serena away, I finally understood. Some people are destined to be passing scenery, while others are the view for the rest of your life. I hereby announce my complete takeover of Caldwell. In the boardroom Julian rapped on the table, triumphant. Now, Chairman Charles, hand over the company seal. Serena supported her ashen-faced father, tears streaming. At that moment she finally saw how much her foolishness had destroyed. Wait. A cool voice came from the doorway. Adrian stepped inside. Luna and a team of lawyers behind him. Adrian? Julian's face twitched. This is a Caldwell internal meeting. What are you doing here? Internal meeting? Adrian gave a cold laugh. Then let's see who the real insiders are. Luna clicked on the projector. Document after document flashed across the screen. Julian's forged diplomas, Thompson's bankruptcy truth, embezzlement, evidence undeniable, this. Julian went chalk white. And this, Adrian said, lifting a folder. The Caldwell shares I now hold exceed 51%. Gasps swept the room. Impossible. Julian jumped up. Clearly what? Luna cut in. Clearly you secretly bought 30%? She spread a contract with elegant fingers. Pity. They were all traps we set. In reality, the shares Julian had scooped up were just smoke. The real equity had long since slipped into Adrian's quiet control. Security, Adrian said calmly. Please show Julian out. You can't do this. Julian thrashed wildly. Serena, are you just going to watch? Serena kept her head down, tears blurring her vision. The prince she'd believed in was now a wretched mess, while the man she'd scorned had become the hero who saved her family. Dad, she hugged her father, sobbing. Adrian, the old man said tremulously. Thank you. Don't thank me, Adrian said, straightening his cuff. This is business, not sentiment. Serena tried to speak. Serena, Luna suddenly said. Do you know why Adrian rescued Caldwell? Serena shook her head. Because he said a century-old company can't be allowed to fall into a villain's hands. Luna looked at Adrian, her eyes shining with pride. That's what real vision looks like. After the meeting Serena blocked Adrian as he prepared to leave. Can we talk alone? There's nothing to talk about. Just one question. She bit her lip. Do you hate me? Adrian gazed at the sunset beyond the window. No, just disappointed. Then can we ever go back? We can't. He turned away. Some roads, once missed, are missed for life. Luna caught up and gently took his hand, watching them walk away. Serena finally understood. Some people you cherish only after you lose them. Some love, once lost, is lost forever. 1 year later, the Best Entrepreneur Award goes to Adrian. Under the glittering lights of the charity gala, thunderous applause filled the hall. Serena sat in a corner, watching the man on stage blaze like a star. Impeccable tux, every gesture radiating mature charisma. Beside him, Luna in champagne silk, radiant yet poised. Who could imagine this man had once been the despised husband she'd married into the family? Let's invite Adrian to the stage, the MC said. Luna rose gracefully, tucking her hand into Adrian's arm, their fingers laced, two halves of a perfect whole. Honestly, Luna said into the mic, eyes sparkling, I owe my greatest thanks to a certain ex. Good-natured laughter rippled through the crowd. If she hadn't failed to treasure him, I'd never have met this amazing man. She turned to Adrian. Right, darling? Adrian tapped her nose indulgently. Such a tease. The scene stung Serena's eyes. Once upon a time, that obedient man had reserved his tenderness for her. Now it belonged to someone else. During the break, she saw Luna fetch a caramel macchiato from the coffee station. Drink it while it's hot, Luna told Adrian, handing it over. Your favorite. How familiar. Once she, too, had passed him coffee like this, never bothering to learn what he truly liked. Serena. Luna appeared before her. You. Serena scrambled to her feet. Relax. Luna smiled. I just came to thank you. Thank me? Yes. Thank you for not treasuring him, Luna said earnestly, so I could meet the best man in the world. Serena watched Luna turn gracefully and walk back to Adrian. They shared a look no outsider could breach. Only then did she realize she'd once possessed the very happiness others dream of. Serena, her father approached. Stop looking. Let's go home. She shook her head. Dad, let me watch a little longer. Watch the man she once pushed away now shine so brightly. Watch the regret that once gnawed her become someone else's joy. Watch the caramel macchiato she'd never cared about become another woman's signature. Adrian's arm circled Luna's waist as they passed. He didn't spare her a glance. At Adrian, she couldn't help calling. He paused but didn't turn. Yes, I wish you happiness. He gave a slight nod and walked off. Luna beside him. She even straightened his tie, a small intimacy Serena had neglected in the past. Serena stood rooted, watching their silhouettes fade. At last she understood. Some people, once missed, are missed for life. Some happiness cannot be reclaimed just because you finally want to cherish it. I do. Vows rang beneath the chapel's stained glass. Luna, radiant and white, beamed up at me. I kissed her forehead. Applause erupted. 3 years had flown since that day. Adrian, Luna teased. Arm in arm as we left the chapel. Now I'm your lawfully wedded wife, no ditching me allowed. Sounds backwards. I tapped her nose. I'm the one afraid you'll ditch me. Never. She leaned on my shoulder. You deserve the very best love. Among the guests I spotted a familiar quiet figure, Serena, seated in a corner. Arrival time unknown. These 3 years she'd studied abroad, then come home to open a little coffee shop. Word was she hand-brewed every cup, determined to make each one perfect. Serena, Maya beside her murmured, let it go. I have, she whispered. Some people, once missed, are a lifetime's regret, but at least I've learned how to love. Luna walked over and placed her bridal bouquet in Serena's hands. Serena, every new start deserves a lucky charm. Serena froze, tears trembling on her lashes. Thank you. She accepted the flowers. I wish you both every happiness. After the reception, Luna and I strolled the garden. What I just did. Would you mind? No. I kissed her hair. Because with you, I've learned what true happiness is. She handed me a cup. Try it. Special blend from the barista. One sip and I tasted the familiar note. Caramel macchiato? Yep. She winked. The drink that sealed our fate. Looking at her bright smile, I understood. The greatest love isn't frantic possession. It's the quiet flow of everyday togetherness. 5 years later, Daddy, our 4-year-old, wrapped her arms around my leg. Take me for coffee. Coffee again? Luna lifted our daughter. Just like your father. We walked into the neighborhood cafe. Serena stood behind the counter, focused on her pour-over. Seeing us, she nodded politely. Auntie, my daughter piped, 1 caramel macchiato. Please. Serena blinked, then smiled. Coming up, the best one you've ever had. Watching her sure hands, I knew she finally understood. To love someone is not to learn cherishment after loss, but to tend the bond carefully while you hold it.